Hello folks and welcome once again to the F1 corner after the qualifying session of the Mugello Grand Prix, the Tuscan Grand Prix, 1000th race for the prancing horse Ferrari. A lot of exciting action on track today during qualifying. What can we expect? Let's find out. And before we start, I want to remind you, of course, to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Help me improve this channel. So as usual, let's start with Q1. So we're out in Q1. Pierre Gasly, Antonio Giovinazzi, George Russell, Nicolas Latifi, and Kevin Magnussen. Let's start with Pierre Gasly. Disappointing qualifying session. Seems like he could not find the grip during this Q1 session. Sad, since he won last week in Monza after all the joy, all the glory. It's back to earth for AlphaTauri. He will try to improve tomorrow in the race. It is a track where they expect it's going to be tough to overtake. So they're going to try probably a different strategy. But still, with the long straight, 1 kilometer straight, I think there are some fair chances of overtaking during the race. So all is not over for Pierre. He can still make up some ground and get some good points, I believe. Giovinazzi, disappointing qualifying session considering that his teammate Kimi Raikkonen made it to Q2 with 13th place. Still, it's also a bit of bad luck. If you look at the timing sheet right behind me, you can see that between 12 and 20, it's a bit more than 0.3 of a second, so it's like a blink of an eye. It's really a bit down to luck, but also the driver's performance and the car. So Giovinazzi will be disappointed with his result. The two Williams could not do better. George Russell and Nicolas Latifi looked like at some point they could make it maybe into Q2. Even Latifi potentially over qualifying his teammate George. And Russell put in a really good lap. Latifi cannot improve. And in the end, George missing Q2 again by 15 100th of a second. This is nothing. So tough luck for the Williams, but again, maybe they can do something tomorrow during the race. It is a long race on a fast track and they have a Mercedes engine, so this could be beneficial to them. And Kevin Magnussen, sad, but the Haas had trouble during practice yesterday and today, and we never really expect them to be in the mix. They have a Ferrari engine, so they are on the back foot to begin with. Grosjean made it into 14, Magnussen missing by 0.3. But at least tomorrow, like I said, is a long race and they can try something. If Grosjean made it into Q2, it means that this car has some potential. So again, we'll start tomorrow in 16th place, Pierre Gasly, 17, Antonio Giovinazzi, 18, George Russell in front of teammate Nicolas Latifi, and Kevin Magnussen in last place. And now on to Q2. So we're out in Q2. Lando Norris, Daniel Kvyat, Kimi Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel, the first Ferrari, and Romain Grosjean. Lando Norris, first time missing out Q3 this season. He was one of 4 drivers making it into the top 10 for every races. Only 1/10 of a second behind teammate Carlos Sainz. Again, the McLaren this weekend not looking like they can do a lot with their package. Seems to like it's going to be a tough race. Carlos Sainz made it by the skin of his teeth, and there's no reason why Lando Norris tomorrow could not also go compete with him and climb up. But it's going to be a tough race for the McLaren. They admit it, they don't have a car that is suitable for this track, like they didn't really in Belgium, which had also a lot of high-speed corner. Daniel Kvyat, second AlphaTauri, showing that this car has the potential to make its way up on the grid. Pierre Gasly missed in 16, but Daniel 12. could save the day tomorrow and climb up at the start, maybe already get in the top 10 and secure a position if he races well. Kimi Raikkonen will be happy with his qualifying lap. 20 years to the exact day after his first ever Formula One tryout in a Sauber here at Mugello again. He is in front of the Ferrari work team of Sebastian Vettel. Just goes to show that it's Ferrari's 1000 Grand Prix, but it's going to be a tough race for them and a tough weekend, and they expected it. The fact that Kimi is in front of Sebastian Vettel shows a lot about this SF1000 Ferrari, that it's not the car that they hoped for, that it's going to be tough. And Vettel, did he lost a bit of motivation maybe, knowing that he's going to Racing Point next year and that obviously he's not with Ferrari? Maybe that's a possibility. We know he has been underperforming for quite a while with Ferrari, but they're gonna fight tomorrow, trying to be in front of both Alfa Romeo and both Haas. We'll see how it unfolds, but so far the last two races, the Ferrari work team has finished behind at least one of their client team. We'll see tomorrow. And Romain Grosjean could not do better. There was nothing more in this Haas, just happy to be in Q2, I believe. So we'll start in 11th place tomorrow with free choice of tire. Lando Norris for McLaren, Daniel Kvyat for AlphaTauri, Kimi Raikkonen with Alfa Romeo, Sebastian Vettel with Ferrari, and Romain Grosjean for Haas. And now on to Q3. So quickly, let's start with a big congratulations to Lewis Hamilton, who get pole position in front of Valtteri Bottas. We'll get to that in a minute, but let's start at the bottom. Esteban Ocon, 10th place, not even a time. He pretty much robbed us of an exciting end of session by spinning during his quick lap, only 2 minutes before the end of the session, and causing a yellow flags, meaning that none of the driver except I believe Lewis Hamilton were able to do a proper fast lap. So Ocon, no time, starts in 10th. Carlos Sainz, 9th in the McLaren, would probably have been in 10th place if not of Ocon mistakes. Carlos Sainz, the only McLaren in the top 10, knows that they don't have a great car for this session. You can see he's over a second behind the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo in 8th place, who might be in the mix tomorrow. If you look at the time in front of him, Lance Stroll only 0.2 faster. So the Renault will fight for points tomorrow. Lance Stroll 7th, behind teammate Sergio Perez, who found out that he's not going to be with Racing Point next year, does not know where his future lies in Formula One. But great job for Sergio Perez, because Lance Stroll on his car this weekend have some upgrade parts that should in theory give him 2 to 3 tenths of a second advantage over Sergio. Still, Perez, 6th place, overqualify his teammates, will fall back into 7th place tomorrow since he got a penalty for clipping Kimi Raikkonen in practice 2. So Perez will actually start in 7th and Stroll in 6th. But the fact that he outqualifies his teammate just shows his devotion to Formula One, the fact that he's a really good driver. And maybe somewhere in their head, the owners of Racing Point will be biting their lips, knowing that they are letting go such a good driver. Charles Leclerc, amazing performance considering the Ferrari package. 5th place. Can he hold it during the race? It's very doubtful, but he will fight with all he got. He is actually saving the day for Ferrari this weekend so far. 1000 Grand Prix, they deserve a nice position. Can luck maybe play in his favor, and can he get a podium? That would be amazing for Ferrari. We'll see tomorrow. Anything can happen. We saw it last week in Monza. Alex Albon, 4th place, good job, 4 tenths behind teammate Max Verstappen. He will play a big part in trying to secure 2nd place for the constructor for Red Bull and maybe try to bring the fight again to the Mercedes. Last week for Red Bull it was catastrophic. Neither of the car finished in the point and they lost a big opportunity. This weekend they're trying to fight back and they could be in the fight with Red Bull. They are pretty close in the qualifying time and the fight with Mercedes, sorry. They are pretty close in the qualifying time. They were close during practice. So potentially the Red Bull, who usually likes a high downforce track, could fight here, even though they don't have the best engine. And yeah, Valtteri Bottas 2nd, Hamilton 1st. Hamilton was one of the few drivers who could finish a proper fast lap at the end of the session, who were not impeded by the yellow flag caused by Esteban Ocon. Could not improve his lap. Bottas thought that he could fight for pole position, but was caught in the Ocon incident and could not do a fast lap. Bottas was convinced that he had more than his 1:15.2 and that he could get into pole position. But tomorrow will still get 2nd place on the grid. Getting to the first corner, it is a long fast lap, and if he can get into Hamilton's slipstream, there are all the chances that he can fight for the win. So that's it, everyone. I think we're gonna have an exciting race tomorrow. I thank you for watching again. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Oh, and you can also follow me on Facebook, the F1 Corner. Thank you for watching once again. I hope to see you tomorrow after the race, and hopefully we'll have a great race for this Ferrari 1000 Tuscan Grand Prix.